Hi, this is Wallflower Tarot, and so as promised, I'm gonna do Aries now. I tried to, like I said, I posted two. I tried to do Aries like 5 or 6 times. I kept having to start over. My camera kept glitching and messing up. The cards were not cooperating. They were just kind of flipping everywhere. Then when I got a story, it just didn't make any sense, and it was all jumbled up and all confused. That could be for somebody, maybe that, I don't know, whatever that means to you. It could be some type of confusion over something, but I just for some reason was not connecting with the reading at all, and I decided not to do it because I didn't want to give a reading that was bullshit. So let's try this again. I'm gonna start with big deck. This is the modern goth deck. I'm still not sure how I feel about it. They're kind of big and slippery, and I really just prefer the Raider White, but the original Raider White. But for some reason, I feel like I'm being called to use this deck. So I'm gonna use this deck. I'm sorry for the way my hands look. I work in a warehouse. Doesn't matter how many times that you wash your hands. They're all dry and cracked, so that dirt's just, it's just in there. So okay. This is just gonna be whatever comes out. Um this is, yeah, and this can be, you can choose what this is about, whatever I say. If I say that there was, well, whatever situation I say there is, you can apply that to a relationship, a job, a friendship, whatever it means to you. So the first card that I have is the Strength card, Leo energy. Somebody is trying to control themselves. Somebody is trying to use self-control. Somebody could also be feeling out of control, uh, or be lacking self-control in some way. The Three of Pentacles. So this could be at a job. Maybe you're having some kind of situation at your job where you're trying to control yourself. Um, Maybe you're trying to work, like if this is not a job, maybe you're trying to work something out with somebody, and you're finding it difficult to control yourself in some sort of situation. Two of Wands. So you're trying to make a decision about something. um yeah, this, you're trying to practice self-control in a situation where you're trying to work something out with another person, and you feel as if there's some kind of decision in front of you. You have the Six of Pentacles. So there's just, maybe you feel like there's just no even give and take in a situation with somebody else. um you could feel like ooh, I hate to say it with the Three of Pentacles, this could be a third party situation. um whatever that means to you, this, I feel like involves another person. So I don't know what this means. You shouldn't, and I'm not speaking on poly relationships or open relationships, but you shouldn't be, other than that, you shouldn't be in a situation where you feel like somebody is getting more attention than the other person. That shouldn't be a thing. But that's kind of what it's kind of what it's looking like to me. So got the Queen of Cups, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, water. So Seven of Swords. Okay. So yeah. Seven of Swords is kind of your lying, cheating, stealing energy, strategizing. Maybe somebody's trying to fleece somebody else or something. Um, I feel like with the Queen of Cups, there's love in the situation. This could also just you dealing with a water sign. But also the Queen of Cups practices self love too. So this could be a situation where your self love, your self respect is coming into um, play in a third party situation. And maybe there is no even give and take in the situation, and maybe you're feeling like you're finding it difficult to control yourself in some way. The Hierophant. This could be a marriage. One of you could be married. You could be married. The other person could be married. I feel like this does involve a marriage though, and this is also Taurus energy, so you could be dealing with a Taurus, or you could be a Taurus. The Nine of Cups. So there's some kind of wish fulfillment here. Um, there, in other words, this is something. This is something that you really want or wanted. Um, Maybe before you started getting, before it started to look like you weren't getting as much out of the relationship as what you thought. That's what I'm looking at. You're not getting as much out of the relationship as what you had thought. And you're trying to make a decision about something. Let's clarify the strength card. What's the strength card? What's the strength card for Aries? I don't know why I say you could be a Taurus. You could have that in your chart. This reading is for Aries, so you could have that in your chart, but you could definitely be dealing with a Taurus too, or a water sign, or a Leo, and you could just have these in your chart. So let's see what's the strength card. The Seven of Cups. So again, choices come into play. This is you could have, I just see a lot of thinking, in the situation, a lot of trying to decide. We also have the Ace of Swords here, so there's some truth. There's a truth. And maybe you are trying to hold yourself back from telling this truth or asking for the truth from somebody. You could be wanting the truth from somebody about something, and maybe you're finding it difficult. I think you're finding it difficult to not just pop out and go, I want to know the truth about this, or maybe you're trying to hold yourself back from getting emotional. And as I say that, I have the King of Cups here. Now, this is water energy. The King of Cups is emotionally stable, but like I said, none of my cards are in the reverse. This could still be read in the negative. And for me, this is not emotional stability. This is the opposite of that. So I feel like this could be, like I said, you're trying to hold yourself back from just getting really emotional and with this person and confronting this person. Let's clarify. Let's clarify the Three of Pentacles. This trying to work something out or work together on something. Let's see what this is about. The Nine of Pentacles. The Strength card again. Queen of Wands. That's your energy. So honestly, I think you're trying to make a decision to whether or not you're gonna be single, because the Nine of Pentacles is about like individuality, standing on your own 2 feet, financial independence. So, and maybe you're kind of having this situation because the Queen of Wands has a whole lot of self-confidence and self-respect. And so maybe you're to, like I'm saying, saying you're trying not to get emotional and just go after this person and tell them the truth about how you feel. And the Queen of Wands would never take a situation like this. So that could be the situation. You're in a third party relationship with somebody else, and you're also the Queen of Wands by nature. You don't tend to lay down and take things from people. So that could be the situation. And then so let's clarify the Two of Wands here. Whatever decision this is, or if this is a decision. King of Swords. Yeah. Okay, I'm seeing some really cutthroat energy here. So the Seven of Wands is a person standing up for themselves, overcoming an obstacle. And the King of Swords, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy. This is he's just kind of a hard person, and he is kind of a little like the energy of the Queen of Wands, but instead of being kind of creative and uh, like a fireball or whatever. This guy's kind of cold and he's calculated, but he only tells the truth and he only wants to hear the truth. So, like I said, there's a truth. I'm getting truth here because you had the Ace of Swords. Some truth is here, and the King of Swords has his truth too. So, and his truth is the truth. And so I think that maybe some truth is coming to you about something, and now you're like, okay, now I'm going to stand up for myself because I know better than this. And if this is, like I said, a third party situation where you just don't want to take this anymore, that's what I feel. I feel this is a situation where you just don't want to take it anymore. And so let's get the Six of Pentacles. The World and the Two of Wands again. So you're definitely thinking about closing a cycle with somebody, and this is definitely giving third party energy. So you maybe get to the point where you're gonna ask them to choose you or the other person, or you're just going to walk away from it altogether just because at this point you feel like you deserve better than this, and you're not going to say anything to them really about choosing you. Maybe you're just going to walk away because you're just not going to take it anymore. And with the Two of Wands, I feel like you're really thinking about this. You're really thinking about how this is going to affect your future one way or the other. You may feel like you're tied down because I noticed that this wand back here is kind of attached to the building. You may feel like you're tied down to a situation in some way. Let's go the Queen of Cups. Let's clarify the Queen of Cups. Who is the Queen of Cups here? Who is the Queen of Cups here? And what is this? Three of Wands. Justice. Yeah, self-love. You want justice in the situation. You want, with the Three of Wands, is kind of like your ship's rolling in. You want what's yours. You want justice. You want, and maybe you're after this person saying, no, I want to be married, and that's that. You're not having two people here. You're not, or if they're in a marriage, you're saying, absolutely not. I will not take this anymore. I'm going to walk away, just no. And this is also Libra energy. I want to say if you're dealing with a Libra. But I do think this with Justice card, and this is like you want what's yours. You want to get what you feel like you deserve. And you feel like you deserve better than this. And if this is a third party situation, you absolutely deserve better than this. Let's get the Seven of Swords. Ten of Swords. Five of Wands. So you feel very, very conflicted in the situation. You do. Um, your heart of hearts is telling you that you deserve better than this and that you need to walk away, you need to stand up for yourself. But you're also going to feel the loss here. And feeling this loss, betrayal, or whatever this is, also is how you realize how you were lied to with the Seven of Swords. And I feel like you do come to realize how much you were lied to or manipulated about the situation. And sometimes when we get out of a relationship, we don't realize how we've been manipulated, or not even just the other person manipulating us manipulating ourselves into staying in this relationship. And we do that. We tend to do that in relationships. We tend to see just the good, and it every good moment that we have this person kind of outweighs what the situation actually is, which is it's a third party situation. It's You're not winning in the situation. You don't feel chosen. You don't feel respected. You feel like you're getting walked on. And like I said, you're an Aries. You're the Queen of Wands. That's not happening. Your your heart of hearts is telling you that this is not happening. So let's get the Hierophant in the situation. This Taurus energy. Seven of Swords. Yeah. So yeah, you feel like you were lied into this situation. You feel like you were lied into this situation, like you were tricked into this situation. Um, I don't know by what means, but you feel like you were tricked into the situation, and you're definitely up in your head about it. Definitely stuck in your head about it. And like I said, you feel like you're bound in some way. She is feeling bound in some way. There's something about this situation where you feel like you're bound to it. I don't know why. Why do you feel bound to this situation? Why do you feel bound to this situation? The Emperor, Aries energy. Maybe this person gives you stability because the Emperor is very stable, um, kind of fatherly figure. Maybe this person, maybe you got daddy issues. Maybe that's what this is. Daddy issues often result in people chasing after people who do not want them and do not love them. So that's definitely could be a key factor in the situation, is that you just are chasing after somebody that really at the end of the day does not love you. And I think, but in some way, yeah, that's what I'm getting. This person makes you have that emotional stability that for people who grow up without dads, they don't kind of get that foundation. They don't get that foundation in that way, that masculine foundation. And so they end up chasing after, they end up chasing. They chase it. And so this could be the situation, and you really thought, like I said with this Nine of Cups, you really thought that this was a wish fulfillment at some point. Let's get the Nine of Cups. Let's find out what the Nine of Cups is. Six of Swords, King of Wands, Knight of Cups. Okay. Well, okay. With you thinking that this situation maybe was your Nine of Cups, your wish fulfillment, I also kind of feel like um, I also kind of, okay, and here's the Moon card too. So I also feel water energy in that. I feel there's another direction you want to go. I don't know what this means. Yeah, there's another direction that you want to go. I don't know that this could be another person, but I don't necessarily see that, but there is another And I, with the Six of Swords, though, the Six of Swords could be a physical distance too, but maybe, well, maybe this just represents like what you really wanted. You really wanted romantic partnership, and you feel like it's so far removed from what this situation actually is that it's just not. Yeah, here's the Ten of Cups. So you feel like um you feel like this Ten of Cups is so far removed from what you actually thought this was going to be like, and that you thought that this was going to be, that maybe that's what has you really 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 stuck in your head. So let's see, let's grab some more of these other cards and see. So what's the advice in the situation? What's the advice in the situation? What's the advice in the situation? The moon. So you got the moon out here twice. The moon. King of Wands again. And the Chariot. So Pisces, Cancer energy, King of Wands, your energy. So I feel like somebody here could have a disability. I don't know why. I guess maybe her wheelchair. I feel like maybe in this situation, somebody in this situation could have a disability. Just putting it out there. Yeah, with the moon card, I feel like with the moon card, sometimes it can mean something hidden coming to light. So maybe this is just coming to light for you, and maybe you need to let it come to light. Maybe you need to strike out on your own and choose yourself and be the King of Wands and the Emperor. Everything that an Aries is, stand on it. And I feel like this Chariot, that's definitely forward movement. So choose yourself in the situation, and you will, and just do forward movement to what you really really want and deserve. And with the Magician card, I think you're a pretty talented person, is what I think. I don't know what it is that you do for work or whatever, but I feel like whatever it is, you feel like you were meant to be doing it, or whatever you're doing in life. You could be an artist as well. um yeah, this is to choose yourself. Choose yourself. Go ahead and let yourself realize the lie. Go ahead and just see it. See it for what it is. You see how they're kind of looking up, and this moon is like, for me, the moon is like the truth. You see it in this card too. It's like it's illuminated to you, and I feel like this, whatever this is, has been illuminated to you. So let's get possible outcome in the situation. What is a possible outcome in the situation? If you choose yourself, what is the possible outcome in the situation? Five of Pentacles, Queen of Swords, the Tower, and the Ace of Swords. So possible outcome in the situation is, okay, first of all, the Tower, which everybody's scared of the Tower card. And this is Aries Scorpio energy. But what the Tower does is it comes along and it removes us off of a path that we're not supposed to be on. So for example, if you are a using drug addict, something bad is going to happen because you're obviously not supposed to be doing that. So you continue doing something that you shouldn't be doing. The universe kind of comes along and just bam, and your entire foundation gets rocked, and you end up on a different path. With that being said, I also have this Five of Pentacles. So this is going to hurt. This is going to hurt. somebody is in this situation is going to be feeling abandoned. You may feel abandoned. But if you look at the Raider White Tarot card of the Five of Pentacles, it's one person following another person out in the cold. So if you continue going down this road, it's going to take you to nowhere. This relationship that you're in with whoever this is absolutely going to take you nowhere. And with the Queen of Swords, like, she stands up for herself. She wants nothing but the truth. She doesn't lie to herself either. So I feel like an outcome in the situation is that, regardless of what you choose, because I don't know what you're gonna choose, I'm not gonna try to guess what you're gonna choose. But if you choose yourself, I feel like with the Ace of Swords, like, I know this is about clarity and all of that, but I feel like, well, I think that you will get clarity about some things, but I'm paying attention to how the crown is on this, and it's like winning. And you, at the end of the day, you get to win. And you also have the Ace of Wands. So something new coming. And the Emperor, your energy. Feel like you choose yourself in the situation and you get to be the Emperor again. Because whatever situation this is that you're choosing is not Emperor-like. The Emperor would never ever do this. So, I think I'm going to wrap it up. I think that's all. Oh, at the end, I want to do a yes or no question. I want you to think of a question that you want to know the answer yes or no to. I'm going to start doing this at the end of my readings. So, give you a couple of seconds to think of that question. Okay. Nine of Swords. So, no. The answer to your question that you were asking yourself is no. Okay, that's going to be it. I'm going to move on. Tomorrow, I'm going to start with the air signs. I think I'm going to start with Gemini. So, that'll be there. And I have some other readings that I have posted up. I'll put some links to that. And thank you for watching.